Hi, Assalamualaikum. We are from Group 7. Our topic is regarding to the higher education in TVET. My group member is Chong Hui, SP21007. She's in charge in interview with expert. Second, we have Muhammad Yusri bin Razali, MA21125, in charge in issues background. Third, I, Muhammad Aidil bin Abdul Ghani, MA21126. I in charge in introduction. And lastly, we have Wan Zahid Hazim bin Wan Muhammad Marzudi, MA21133, in charge in literature review. I will talk about the introduction of TVET. TVET is technical, vocational education and training that encompasses formal, non-formal and informal learning. TVET is also known as apprenticeship training, vocational education, technical education, occupational education, workforce education, and lastly is workplace education. TVET is in addition to general education, technology and science study relate to the acquisition of practical skills, attitude, understanding, and knowledge relate to the employment in various sectors of the economy and social life. TVET program in Malaysia are offered at the certificate, diploma, and degree levels. Qualification for the academic sector and vocational education offered by MUHE are recognized by the Malaysia Qualification Agency that involve university, polytechnic, and community college. Training program offered by skill training institution are recognized by the skill department. Universiti Malaysia Pahang UMP develop and expand higher education with focus on state of the art, technical and vocational education and training that offer industry-based academic program. UMP also has formulated the UMP strategic plan from 2021 to 2025 by focusing on element of new knowledge exploration through research and innovation activities and internalization and graduate entrepreneurship in related field to improve the quality of education globally. MP is ranked at 133 in Asia in the Berkeley Simmons World University ranking in 2021. And in 2018, UMP emerged as the first local technical and non-research university to receive the prestigious US 5-star overall rating award in the UMP rating system. UMP has also emerged as the best university among 15 ASEAN universities with the high publication growth rate in engineering as reported by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization in 2013 and ranked at 58 in the world by the UHE3262 University ranking in 2016.
Assalamualaikum and very good day to everyone. From here, I would like to point out to you the issues in TVET at higher education. In Malaysia's higher education in TVET, there are three issues: high order thinking skills among TVET students, high costs in technical education, and stigma attached to it with non-homogeneous participation of the ethnic group. Firstly, we go to high order thinking skills among TVET students. To match the employer's aim to find new employees, students and future human capital should equip themselves with critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Ministry of Education in 2015 said some graduates, according to the company, lack key thinking skills and expertise. This is because there is a weak emphasis on thinking skills and less on thinking skill in instruction for all students in the learning session. Aside from that, students are frequently exposed to the idea that technical content is prioritized, but students are less taught about how to use what they have learned in creative and practical ways. As a result of their limited exposure, students struggle to learning thinking skills. Most graduates, according to employers, lack critical thinking and communication abilities, said to KPM 2015. Secondly, high cost of technical education. The cost of setting up a course is extremely costly, and upkeep of the equipment should be included in. It not only includes the machines but also the one-time learning materials. Due to the high operating costs, the majority of those who could benefit from it do not usually have access. There is a need to identify alternative delivery options for TVET teaching. Malaysia is one of the few countries that has continually spent a significant portion of its budget on education. Prof. Dr. Wan Asha Wan Yusof, Vice Chancellor of Universiti Malaysia Pahang, said the government's support for education and TVET development was consistent, with institutions that dominated skill training receiving several allocations to train skilled and semi-skilled candidates, mostly at the certificate and diploma levels. And the last one is the stigma attached to it and the non-homogeneous participation of the ethnic group. The misconception that TVET is second class is a major impediment in Malaysia's society. While it is true that those who are not academically inclined are better suited to TVET, this should not be viewed as a bad trait. Malaysia is multi-ethnic and has three major races: Malay, Chinese, and Indian. Every ethnic group must be appropriately represented in this system. According to 2016, India adolescents make up less than 3% of the entire intake to TVET slots available in the country. Malays make up the majority of the participants. From the starting on the site, overall, after a professional certificate, technical and vocational skill training is the next most crucial qualification for getting a job. This is striking in light of the relatively low attendance in TVET schools. Not in the chart below, this shows the percentage of ethnic in Malaysia taking technical and vocational education. Bumiputera lead with 15%, followed by Indian 4%, and sadly Chinese with 1%. That's all from me. Thank you and keep listening to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will continue the presentation. So I will talk about the summary and suggestion. So first is summary. I will summarize what my government have been talking about, which is TVETs in higher education. So higher education in TVET is important and mostly promoted in all government university nowadays. It is non-formal and informal learning that prepare young people with the knowledge and skills required in the world of work. Nowadays, most jobs require the needs of knowledge and experience in university students. Therefore, higher education in TVET qualifications will equip you with specific skills that you need at the workplace, whereby hands-on practical experience will be performed that will prepare you for the challenge and opportunities you may face at work. So overall, for those who don't know, after a professional certificate, technical and vocational skills learning is the next most crucial qualification for getting a good job. So next is I will talk about suggestion. Here I have 3 suggestions. So first is emphasize on practical skills. So a lot of university and college students, they tend to learn a lot of theory rather than practical skill. So this is not convenient for students, especially for engineering students, since in their future job, engineers more to work with machine rather than in the office. So university and college can teach students by kinesthetic learning or introduce them to the kinesthetic learning, which is required student to manipulate or touch material to learn. So this will give student experience on machine or tools to work with. So for the future job, they already since they already have experience to work with the machine and tools, it will be easier for them to do the job better. So by kinesthetic learning also, since students have uh, to experience the machine and tools by their own, so this will also expand their thinking skills on how to work with the machine tool. So the next point is expand the importance of TVET in higher education. So as you all know, TVET subject TVET only have been introduced to us in this year, which is 2022, especially for UMP student. It is a new core subject. So a lot of students don't know or did not care about the importance of student of TVET and take it tightly. So a lot of students also think subject TVET as more into the theory subject rather than the practical skills. So this is not very good for the student. So university and college students should find a way how to expand the importance of TVET and apply the importance of TVET is for students. So this will make the student know the necessary why the TVET is important for them. So if the student know how important and necessary the TVET education is, especially in student in higher education, this will make the student focus more how to sharpen their thinking and practical skills, since they know how important is practical and thinking skill or vocational skill for their future to get a good job. So last but not least is spend resources in TVET for higher education. So government or doesn't matter, university or college should spend their resources in TVET, especially in higher education, since students after their studies in diploma or degree, they will tend to look for job. So for spend resources in TVET for higher education, university and college should buy equipment or necessary tools for students so they to expand their practical skill. So if the university or college did not provide a suitable amount of equipment for students, so they will not get the experience on how to work with the tools or machine that necessary for their work job field. So without the suitable or enough equipment of in university or college, how students can sharpen their practical skills and expand their thinking skills. This is not convenient for students, since especially for engineering students, since we already know in their career job, a lot of engineers tend to work with machine or tools. So without the equipment, without this equipment and experience when they are in their studies, students we don't know how to operate the tools, the machine, and how to work with the tool.
So before I start my presentation about interview of the expert, I would like to introduce you to the expert that I have interviewed. So this expert, his name is Chung Bun Chuan. So he is a lecturer at the Polytechnic Kota Baru for 12 years in the engineering field. He is always in charge in teaching wiring by using hands-on experience. So he is a good candidate to be interviewed for our project in higher education of TVET. Before moving forward to our fourth question, let me give you an insight of the interview that I would like to overcome. So, higher education in TVET, which is Technical Vocational Education and Training, is one of the critical drivers in the transformation of Malaysia's educational system and contributes toward the economical growth. It works to develop and to equip individuals with current technical skills based on the industry demand. However, there are many issues faced by the government in the way to strengthen the field of TVET. This intention then become a big challenge for the government due to the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic, whereby the world experienced changes in the way of delivering education from conventional methods to e-learning online method. So let's move forward to the four questions that I have interviewed the experts. So the first question asked in this interview is, does higher education in TVET play an important role in the education system? Based on the expert, he agrees that TVET is important and mostly promoted in all government universities nowadays. It is a non-formal and informal learning that prepare young people with the knowledge and the skill required in the world of work. Nowadays, most jobs require the needs of knowledge and experience in university students. Therefore, higher education in TVET qualification will equip you with specific skills that you need at the workplace, whereby hand-on practical experience will be performed, and that will prepare you for the challenge and opportunity you may face at work. Based on the lecturer's field in engineering teaching, a lab full of equipment for engineering is provided for the engineering students to carry out projects before graduating. So here is the picture for the engineering lab.
So here are some photos for the engineering lab provided by the experts.
Second question asked in the interview is, due to the crisis of COVID-19, it has come to be seen that the higher education in TVET is hard to achieve. In your opinion, how can this situation be solved? As higher education in TVET focus more on practical skills and work preparedness, it is hard to adapt into online learning modes. University students cannot be easily developed with practical skills at home, since certain tools and equipment are only available at the laboratory. However, to overcome this issue, we can give students a virtual lab to perform the activities themselves. For example, an application widely used by most lecturers, which is the Labster. So later on, we will have a video prepared to show the uses of virtual lab, which is Labster, to improve the higher education in TVET online learning modes. Based on the video shown, students were still able to have a hand-on experience to carry out any practical skills that was taught by lecturer during the online learning mode. Lecturer can be prepared with the lab experiment based on the topic that was learned by students and give them marks based on the way they did in the experiment instead of giving them quiz. Due to online learning method, most students will have high possibility to cheat during the quiz and tests. So by giving them marks based on virtual lab they did, can help them to understand the subject more, which also implement higher education in TVET.
So here is an application that I talk about, which is the Labster application. This video recording was given by the expert that I have interviewed. This Labster is mostly in the engineering field regarding the battery and how the lights are produced. So you can see about it. It implements TVET.
So the third question asked in the interview is, for your information, there is another challenge faced to promote higher education in TVET, which was the lack of good infrastructure resource to perform higher education in TVET and the efficiency of high quality of lecture. What ways can be carried out to overcome this problem? In my opinion, higher education in TVET is hard to achieve if there is lack of good infrastructure, resource, and the efficiency of high-quality lecture in TVET. Therefore, there are three ways to overcome the problem of efficiency of high quality of lecture in TVET. First, the government must reopen the programs for lecturers to learn on how to improve themselves in the higher education in TVET and how to provide quality resource which can help in improving higher education in TVET for university students. Next, teachers must be well supplied with higher order thinking skills, which is HOTS, and quality knowledge for higher education in TVET for appropriate technological development along with reliable resource to practice the hand-on experience themselves first before teaching others. Next, the most required qualification for application of job interviews to become teachers must require the higher education in TVET qualification and certification. The application of an exam for the teachers in every 5 years must be evaluated to renew the criteria and include higher order thinking skills, which is the TVET knowledge, to improve the view towards TVET education. The last question asked in the interview is, based on some student perspective, they used to think that higher education in TVET is mainly for those who have lower grade or academically poor. In your opinion, how can this problem be solved? First, students need to be taught during a younger age about the meaning of high education in TVET. In lower secondary school, students were already developed with the subject Kemahiran Hidup, whereby this subject had already provided hands-on experience for students. Therefore, in order to give a good insight for students regarding the higher education in TVET and to eliminate stereotypes towards TVET, the importance of TVET education must be taught since then. This could probably overcome the negative effects of social view on the students. The subject Kemahiran Hidup must also be a compulsory subject during the higher secondary school, whereby the subject is based on the field of education taken by the student as in vocational college. For example, students in the field of engineering, instead of training them to memorize all the way to classify the wiring things, students actually must be exposed to real-life wiring and plugging. So that's about it for our Group 7 presentation. My name is Chung Hui Yin, and along with me we have...
Hello, I Aidil. I hope you guys enjoy this video. See you soon.
My name is Mohamed Isri Razali. I'm from Faculty of Mechanical Engineering. I will see you again.
My name is Wan Zahin Azim bin Muhammad Marzudi. Thank you.